Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video is made to help beginners or those who are starting their home practices. So let's get down to it. Number one, please stay safe by choosing an even surface to practice on that includes tile, hardwood floor, or thin rug. Thick rugs are not great because your feet will continue to think about how to place its way to keep your body safe, because the inside and the outside edge of the feet will do this to try to find great balance for you. And if your feet and your mind are busy thinking about that, then you won't enjoy your practice too much. You can be focusing on your teacher. Number two, clear your surrounding. Choose a gray space that has a cleared area, no glass, no sharp objects too close so that if you happen to fall, you might get yourself injured. Obviously, debris free so that there's no Lego pieces and your feet might accidentally step on and injure and cause some cramp or strain and fall again. You want to make sure the lighting is good enough for you to see the laptop or whatever, the phone that you're practicing on, but it could be dim as well if you're heading into a nice, gentle in practice and you're just right before the night, so you don't want to be too bright either. And choose a place that you're going to come back to often so you can build up great healing, supportive vibes in this area so that whenever you step here, you already feel that energy, that relaxing, that independent, that self-care, me time right here. And when you choose a surrounding, obviously the mat is a great measurement, but I recommend that you have maybe half an arm length or from your fingertips to your elbow on either side so you have space to move, especially in a twist where your knees might fall off from the mat or fall away from the mat. Number three, do I wear socks? I personally don't recommend socks. A good mat is good grip with your skin. If you wear socks, that's fine, but make sure there are grip outside and inside, especially on the inside where the fabric is moving with the feet. You don't want it to move, because if it does, then we're going back to the first scenario where your feet are continuously calibrating on how to hold its fit place, how to ground, right? So be careful if you wear socks. I personally don't recommend wearing socks. I believe good contact from the skin with the feet. Number four, point of reference. Sometimes if the teacher's Zoom classes set up in a way that it's not mirroring her or him, he or her could be saying right, but to you it looks like left. So in that case, please do not worry about what the teacher is saying. Just make sure you do the right side and the left side. And to make sure you do that, know where your point of reference are. So you already know where is front, where is back, where is right, where is left. So work with your own point of reference. Number five, placing your laptop. So your laptop or phone can be on the floor if you have a great in practice where you're largely or majority time on the floor, which is great. But most likely you'll probably head into a standing practice. So if you're gonna stand up, then I recommend a chair that's an arm length away from you, where you can place your phone on a tripod or laptop and such, so that if you're standing, you're not straining your neck looking too down to a laptop or phone on the floor, but you are looking slightly elevated so it's not straining your neck. And what's great that if you are sitting down on the floor, it's just right directly before you, or if you're lying down, you can just simply take the laptop or phone and place it down, which is most likely at the end of the practice or sometime in the front, but most time at the end, and you can just simply move that laptop. Perfect. So number six is about how to place your weight on your hands. You must have heard the famous downward dog. And downward dog for beginners, because before their hamstrings are more softened or awake, most likely the weight will fall in the front where your hands are. If your hands are not involved, most likely you are placing most of the weight onto your tiny wrist. There's not a lot of muscles here, right? So slowly, if you do that, you will cause injuries, soreness into your wrist, and we don't want that. So how do you incorporate your hands into holding a posture such as downward dog or any posture that is going to put weight on your wrist and hand? So you want to make sure your hand, if you take it out like this outline of your palm should have great contact with the floor. That area is holding the weight with the wrist. And when you do that, this meaty part from the thumb to the index finger will have some space away from the mat, and we call that the dome. And so it's okay to have that dome, but in a way that all the outline of the palm should be holding the weight. So what happens with your fingers? The fingers, you want to have a good grip. So then you're going to go into a Spider-Man grasp or claw type of holding. So your knuckles here are kind of lifted. So you here, it looks like this. You're clawing, you're grabbing the mat like Spider-Man. All right, so this is how you should hold your weight. So let me demonstrate. So here, you don't want to put all your weight here. Notice my elbows and my shoulders are almost in a straight line. So you want to warm up your hamstrings so that you can move your weight back. So there's not a lot of weight on the wrist and hand. And you can even, as a starting point, bend your knees so that, it's not as like you are trying to really stretch out those stiff hamstrings. Okay. So this is a good time to go into the next point about your joints. So you never want to lock your joint, and you always want to be safe by being aligned. So here, your knee and your ankle are aligned in the same line. This is a great place because your ankle is strong enough to carry all the weight here it needs to come. If your knee is here, that's fine. It's sharing the weight between your hips and ankle. But over here, never knee before your ankle, before your toes. So either on top or at the back. Another point about the joint is that when you use them, when you're extending, do not overextend and lock the joint. It's a very subtle movement, but let me kind of show you here. So have your arms out, beautiful. Lock. If you lock, you'll find that elbow kind of like pops up, kind of like, you bounce, 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 right? So you don't want to lock it so that the elbow tab here feels like it's joined and glued together with the rest of the arm. Same thing with the knee. So if you're doing a balancing posture, standing on your knee, so do something like this to keep your knees fluid, but lock the knee as if like someone's gonna hit you and you just kind of really tense up. So never lock your joint. All right, the next point is about breathing. You might hear in the posture in the class, the teacher says, all right, inhale here and exhale here. As a beginner, you might think about, well, I'm trying to learn the postures and I have to think about synchronizing my breath with the postures. Oh yes, absolutely. That's where you're going to head in, right? But don't think about you have to be perfect right away. You are starting out. But I understand you want to, really take the effort to match whatever teacher is saying. So here's a general guideline. So if your posture is an opening one, where your chest has lots of room to expand, that's the time to inhale. If you're falling forward and your shoulder is rolling forward and there's contraction happening around the ribs, then that is when you exhale. Another point is that if you're lifting your body up, the height is lifting, your body is ascending, most likely you're going to do an inhale. And if your body is ascending, you're probably going to do an exhale. Okay, so those are the general guidelines for you until you're able to listen to your instructor and match point on point. Next one is still about the breath. You will hear a teacher count. Inhale here and 1, 2, 3. Now every teacher, every person actually have different length of inhale and exhale and breathing. So this is where you listen to your own breath. Your teachers are just guide, they are just facilitator. You never have to copy what's on the screen. They are just for you to guide. You're here to learn, you're here to move at your own pace. So the teacher count 5 breaths, and you feel like, she counted 5, but I'm only at 3 at this moment, or I'm already at 8, what's going on? Don't worry, just work at your own pace and move and catch up with the teacher whenever you can, or maybe pause until you go to the next posture. And if your breath is shorter, that's fine. Wait until the teacher reach 5 and then move. Or if you already passed 5, hey, that's okay. Just wait until the teacher gets to 5 and move, right? So those are just guidelines. Don't feel like you're pressured to follow exactly the count of the breath. Last point, to stay safe, especially, never exit or enter a posture suddenly or abruptly or too fast, okay? Especially at the beginning, your body is still warming up, so don't move too quick, too fast. Look at the teacher and move into it slowly, because you definitely want to wait until your body is warmed up before moving too quick and such. Again, you are working at your own pace. Never feel rushed by the teacher or what's on the screen. All right, so those are the top 10 points I want to offer to you to have a safe, fun, and engaging class as you build up your home practice. I hope that was helpful. So I hope I'll get to see you in my class. Have a good one. Namaste.